The use of performance-enhancing drugs and supplements is very popular among trained athletes, military personnel, and others. This investigative journalism essay video will focus in on performance-enhancing drug use, specifically by college athletes. I interviewed 4 female and 4 male varsity athletes on the volleyball, wrestling, track and field, swimming, golf, gymnastics, football, and water polo teams at the University of Michigan to get their opinions and beliefs on these types of drugs. According to the Pediatric Clinics of North America, a drug refers to any substance that exerts an effect on the body system, and a supplement refers to any substance that is taken to augment the diet. Most vitamins and minerals are benign in nature and are difficult to misuse. However, some supplements, such as stimulants and steroids, are clearly drugs and have the potential to cause significant morbidity and death. The categorization of the more significant substances with the more safe ones leads people to think that all supplements are safe. Therefore, they are taken without consideration of the harmful effects. Performance-enhancing drugs include stimulants, painkillers, sedatives, blood boosters, masking drugs, and many more. The definition changes between athletic authorities and technically can include anything from a vitamin or protein to a stimulant or steroid. Let's see how the varsity athletes here at Michigan define performance-enhancing drugs.
I think performance-enhancing drugs are anything that allows another athlete to have an upper hand. So when the playing field is no longer level, so whatever would give them an advantage to be able to perform better than another athlete.
I would define them as anything that you put into your body that is illegal or banned in your respective sport, and something that's looking to give you an unfair advantage against your competition.
Anything that's not like natural, like food and whatnot, that's probably you can buy in the store that you use to make yourself bigger, stronger, faster.
Performance-enhancing drugs are anything that, like in the name, it enhances performance and makes you able to perform at a higher level than you naturally would be able to.
Anything that helps you improve your performance and it makes you stronger, and they're not natural, they're artificial products.
First off, think of it as with a negative connotation, so I think of it as an illegal drug like steroids, or even powder that men use, but I don't think that it's ever portrayed really with a positive light.
Performance-enhancing drugs, I think the first thing that comes to mind would be steroids, just in general. When I have time to actually sit down and think of all the other enhancing drugs, I would say a lot of things that I take or my teammates take, such as creatine or just any protein stuff like that, ultimately is performance enhancing. But I guess that would be kind of considered one of the legal ones. So I really don't think of it as a big deal.
I think performance-enhancing drugs would be anything that gives an athlete or a person an unfair advantage. So not just muscle building, but when it takes it to an extreme level, that isn't allowed in all countries or for all athletes.
According to the Clinical Management Series, 76% of college athletes and up to 100% of athletes in some sports, such as weightlifting, take a supplement. Here what the athletes interviewed take themselves.
I use whey protein after workouts, help my body recover, and after lifts to build muscle. I use vitamins. Vitamin C is to help your immune system, give you energy, and I also take omega-3, which helps with my joints.
Protein powders, protein shakes, like that.
I do use whey protein.
Of ibuprofen or Tylenol.
Like whey protein powder or just some regular protein powder. I've used creatine. Some creatines are NCAA legal. I guess aren't as strong as others. That's about it.
I used to take a multivitamin, so I guess is that considered a performance? If it is, but no, I don't take anything now.
A major concern by the media is that athletes who abuse performance-enhancing drugs, such as blood doping, are getting help from their physicians. The American Academy of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation Journal published an article that denied this concern, claiming all physicians working with athletes now legally need to be aware of doping and other performance-enhancing drug issues and be prepared to educate athletes on the negative side effects, as well as give them alternative recommendations that are not only legal but also beneficial for their bodies. So many physicians now are still providing athletes with performance-enhancing drugs, but not any that are illegal or harmful to the body. Our athletes here at Michigan further back up this point. Many either buy their own performance-enhancing drugs or are provided them by their physicians or athletic trainers.
I buy everything myself, except in the wrestling facility there's like a multivitamin thing that we take. So.
The athletic department gives it to us, like the trainer, weight room coaches.
It's provided by the team, swim team.
It's provided from an athletic trainer.
I buy the creatine, like the pre-workout stuff, but then we have the whey protein that's provided to us.
Possibly just winning, being able to perform better than another athlete and being able to excel at your sport at a rate that you normally wouldn't be able to if you weren't using the drugs. But other than that, I don't see too many other benefits, especially since it kind of makes you a cheater.
I think the benefits are physically, you feel better, but also mentally, you feel like you're gaining an edge over your opponents, and I think it helps your body overall become stronger.
Well, they make you gain weight and muscle mass, sometimes lean muscle mass, depending on your lifts and like how much you're eating. It varies, but generally you can probably gain some weight from it.
Recovery. I use it more for recovery and overall strength. I've never really looked into it too closely, but everyone on the team uses it and thinks it benefits their overall strength and recovery.
Lance Armstrong, I guess, he had performance-enhancing drugs, and he did, I guess he did well with it. And I guess people take steroids and stuff to get stronger, so I guess it does have some side effects, but I don't think you should take it because it has side effects.
I think it just helps an athlete get through their tournament or their meet without feeling their injury or their soreness, but I don't think that using illegal drugs are good.
I guess just helping you, just kind of giving that little extra push to get bigger and get stronger, which ultimately kind of helps you in competition.
I mean, if you're looking to gain a lot of muscle, or if you're looking to slim down, I mean, the drugs are the drugs are there for a reason. They have benefits, and but they also have side effects. So I think it's important to take that into consideration.
No, I do not think that athletes should be able to use performance-enhancing drugs, not at an amateur or at a professional level.
I would say yes, as long as everyone is on the same page as far as what is legal and what isn't, what isn't legal for your sport.
It depends. If we're talking about like whey protein and stuff like that, yes. But if it's like blood doping or anabolic steroids, no, not at all.
No, I don't think they're okay to take, just because it's artificial and it's not fair if one person takes it and one person doesn't. So I think either everyone should be allowed to take it or just don't take it at all.
Yes and no. I think yes, because everyone does it, so it kind of, regardless of if it is or if it isn't, people are still going to use it.
Mm-hmm.
No, because I don't necessarily know all the consequences or the repercussions the effects it has on your body, later in life. So I guess yes and no.
If one school doesn't allow it, then no school should, and I think the issue is when it takes it to extremes and it's bad for someone's health.
Something that I wanted to reiterate, because our society often fails to recognize or acknowledge, is the fact that not all performance-enhancing drugs are bad. Some, like the whey proteins a lot of athletes take here at Michigan, can be beneficial to muscle gain and recovery.
I think that they can be healthy as long as you're not abusing them and as long as they have doctor and research approval of what isn't healthy for your body.
I think some are, some aren't. Generally, the ones that are illegal, like anabolic steroids and stuff, are pretty bad for you. They have negative side effects, but in general, protein powder and stuff, I think are pretty normal.
I think it depends. I think anabolic steroids are not healthy at all. I don't really know about blood doping or any of the other ones that are under just current rules illegal.
No. think there are negative side effects to everything that you take.
If they're used with permission from a doctor or an athletic trainer.
I guess in my opinion, I would say some of them are, some of them aren't. I think that taking kind of a post-workout powder is probably somewhat healthy, but I wouldn't necessarily say taking like a pre-workout, something that kind of gets you going, like creatine. I probably would say that's not healthy.
I think they can be, like, for example, a vitamin. I think that's okay, but when it takes it over the like limit and like questions health, whether it's like internal like muscular structure or anything where like your life is in risk, then I think that's an issue.
According to the Daily Record, collegiate athletes these days will do anything to stay in the game. Taking performance-enhancing substances like steroids does not faze the consciences of the players. They would risk cutting a few years off their lives or even damaging their livers and hearts just to accomplish their lifelong dreams. Let's see what the athletes here at Michigan have to respond to this statement.
Definitely not true for me, but it might be true for someone else. I enjoy playing my sport. I'm a volleyball player here at U of M, but it does not define me, and I'm a multifaceted person, so no.
I think I know a lot of athletes that are more so for in the moment and when they're young and able to move around and a lot more mobile, because they figure they might as well live it up now compared to down the road when they're 70 or 80, you can barely move around and not a lot of people know who they are, but now they feel like everybody will know who they are if they accomplish particular athletic feats.
I definitely know people like that. Personally, I mean, I run track, and so a lot of pro runners do illegal steroids and whatnot. I think I necessarily wouldn't do them just because I wouldn't want to do it to my body, but I do the legal ones all the time.
I actually don't know any athlete that does that. Well, maybe for guys, but like all my guy friends, like I know they don't do performance enhancing drugs, or girls especially. Like none of my friends do, and I don't do it either. I'd rather live longer, I guess.
I do know that athletes are very competitive, and when they have a lot of passion for their sport, they will do anything it takes to excel. But I don't think that the athletes I know see anything as harming their body. I think it's more as chasing their passion and doing it however they can.
I would say that statement is not true for me. I think, given my size, so I play football, I'm a smaller guy, I don't think that taking a performance-enhancing drug is going to give me that like overall edge. I think for some of my teammates, I think that statement would be true. They would pretty much live and die by taking those performance-enhancing drugs to kind of get that extra push from it. But no, I wouldn't say that's true for me.
It's definitely not true for me. A, because we do drug tests monthly. But B, I think I put in so much hard work. I wouldn't want any sort of like illegal or damaging drug to hurt my body because I care about it so much. But I know for a lot of athletes, like it's all about just getting bigger, stronger, and faster. There's so much competition, and like in order to be the best, a lot of people think you have to cheat to get there. That's not something I agree in, but I know it's definitely an issue with student athletes nationwide.
Probably Adderall.
Let's say protein. Pretty much every single sport that involves some type of lifting, you usually see a bunch of athletes taking protein right after the lift.
Protein shakes, like protein powder.
I think it would probably be probably blood doping. I'm not sure. Wait, what exactly is blood doping again? Honestly, I wouldn't know which is most common, at least on a collegiate level.
Protein bar, protein shakes, protein juice, any protein drinks. I think those are the most popular ones.
Things like cortisol shots or a drug like Toradol that are prescribed from doctors are probably most common, and maybe powders to increase muscle or something. I think those are the more legal drugs that student athletes might end up using.
Probably the two that I use. I know a lot of I have friends at a lot of other colleges, and they kind of use a similar like pre-workout creatine and just kind of protein powder after a workout?
I don't really know because I don't know what like drug tests different schools use, but I would say like my guess would be steroids among males to get stronger.
According to the Journal of Endocrinology and Metabolism Clinics of North America, drug detection has become quite sophisticated. In college athletics, all athletes are tested by the NCAA and then by other organizations as well. Here at Michigan, athletes are tested by the NCAA, the Big Ten, and a separate test just by the University of Michigan. All three of these tests must be passed in order for an athlete here to stay eligible. Here's what the athletes at Michigan say about performance-enhancing drugs being a problem or not in college athletics.
Maybe from sport to sport, but I haven't been exposed to it directly.
No, I don't.
Definitely. I think, especially in, like, I don't know about Michigan, it's not it's like something you hear, but like in other schools you hear about people like on football teams and stuff like that getting banned for performance-enhancing drugs and stuff like that.
No, not at least for our school, because I feel like does it show up in drug testing? I feel like because we have like strict drug testing and we have strict guidelines, like a lot of people are pretty careful about what they take.
I have not personally seen many articles on it, but I think that if they're using powders and all of these enhancers without putting forth the effort on their own, then it could be a problem. And if it becomes an addiction or something like that, then that could be a problem as well.
I wouldn't say it's a problem yet. I think in a few years maybe, just because they're making so many substances now that kind of get around to the drug testing. And so from a fairness standpoint, some college or some athlete might discover a powder or some type of steroid, I guess you could say, that is illegal but couldn't be found through a drug test, and so it might kind of give them an unfair advantage.
I would say they definitely used to be, and I don't know if they are as much now just because I know like there's so much restrictions with drug testing. I'm sure they're not able to catch all drugs used, so I'm sure there's a lot that slip under the radar, but as for like the big names, I think those are probably dying down more and more as we like keep restricting.
In conclusion, there is still no single definition of performance-enhancing drugs, as you can see by the differing definitions online and by our varsity athletes here at Michigan. Performance-enhancing drugs are provided by doctors, athletic trainers, and the university, and are also bought by the athletes themselves. Some performance-enhancing drugs, such as vitamins and proteins, can be beneficial to athletes, but athletes must pay close attention to the types of proteins and supplements they choose to take to ensure they are legal and safe for their bodies. The majority of athletes interviewed here do not think performance-enhancing drugs are ethical, so either do not use them or take them simply because it is the only way to stay competitive with their teammates in competition. Because of the intense drug testing policies that collegiate athletes adhere to, performance-enhancing drugs for the most part are not a problem currently, but may become one at any time if a new drug is released that will not show up on a drug test or a current legal drug shows negative side effects in the future.